YouTube boxing card
Thank
here
you.
in Inglewood, California. You're coming off an unanimous decision victory over Jesus Perez.
Yes.
How do you feel? Oscar just announced winning this fight. You get to fight for a world title.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a dream of mine since I was 12 years old. I think it's every boxer's dream growing up to be a world champion. And then now that I'm that close to it, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be headlining the YouTube theater. I'm very excited to go out and put in a show for all my family and all for my friends and everyone that supports me.
You keep mentioning that you've been wanting to fight the likes of Conor Ben,
Yeah.
Keith Thurman, any top 5 contender out there. But you get to fight Anthony Young for a very important opportunity for you to get that title.
Yeah, exactly. Once I get past Anthony Young, my main focus is on him. But then afterwards, I can start calling out the bigger names. I can call out the Keith Thurmans. I can call out the champions. Terrence Crawford. I'm next in line for the WBO championship.
Alexis, how do you rate your opponent, Anthony Young?
People don't know too much about him, but the thing that people don't know too, he has a couple losses. So he's coming in here to upset me, to come to my hometown, because he has no pressure to come in here. He's lost before. This is his biggest moment in his career. He's gonna come out here try to upset me, and that's a dangerous opponent right there.
What does the victory do for your career? At this point, obviously you won that world title. You think this is the fight that opens up those doors?
Yeah, it does open up doors. I gotta go in there and I gotta put on a show. I gotta go put on a spectacular performance, and I gotta show the world who I am. From there, I can start calling out big names, like I said.
What do you make of the welterweight division? Obviously, people want to see Crawford against Spence, but it seems like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you make of, do you think what's the deal behind it?
I mean, probably just the business side of it. People don't see that. People just see people are ducking this. People are ducking each other, but it's not like that. There's more to it. There's a business side as well, and I think they're not getting it done as a business purposes. But yeah, I don't think they'll fight each other within the year.
And what do you make of the, obviously the young bucks, including yourself? You have also virtual teams. You have, Boots and it's.
Yeah.
What do you make of the new class of 147? You think we're gonna get those matchups that maybe we didn't get right now?
Yeah, I would hope so. Those are the fights to make. Whether it's for an eliminator or for a world championship fight, those are the fights you got to make. And the ball's always gonna be in my court. The ball's always gonna, like, how should I say it? You're not gonna hear a no from me to make those fights.
Yeah. What do you make? Obviously, there was a lot of talk of you maybe possibly fighting Conor Ben. Tested positive. What do you make of that? And is that a concern in moving forward if you ever get a matchup with Conor Ben?
I mean, it's kind of hard now because you don't know what he's been taking. He hasn't really came up and cleared the air what happened there. He's been pretty silent. But I still do see myself, testing him to go out to the UK or wherever it may be to fight him.
Yeah, finally, if I get your thoughts, obviously Ryan Garcia was going to be part of this card. He's not. What do you make of if maybe possibly fighting Gervonta Tank Davis? We don't know if it's going to happen or not, but just from your point of view, how do you see that fight playing out?
I mean, Tank Davis is a killer, but people are writing Garcia off because he might not, for whatever reason. They're writing him off, saying he's a TikToker, he's a whatever. But he could crack. He's in there. And he's a live opponent. He's a live person to fight with, and I feel like he get upset, Gervonta Davis, because he's so tall, he's so big for the weight class.
Yeah, right now, who do you rank as the best lightweight? Obviously, David Haney is the undisputed champion, but you have Tank, you have Shakur Stevens who's moving up as well. How do you break down that weight class? Because it's one of the ones that's not only everyone's young, but it's one of those divisions that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I would say Devin Haney's probably the top guy. Next to him is Lomachenko. Lomachenko's been around; he's been the undisputed champion. Yeah, he had one loss, but a little setback, and I consider him one of the best in the world still.
Yeah, speaking of somebody, one of the best in the world, obviously Canelo could fight John Ryder in May, or maybe possibly down the line, a rematch against Bivol.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give Canelo if he would fight Bivol at 168?
To 168? I mean, he's not at a disadvantage. He still is in a disadvantage because Bivol's a bigger guy, but that doesn't really mean anything because Canelo's one of the best in the world. Now that he's getting Bivol to pretty much dehydrate himself to 168, Canelo could have an advantage in that.
So you think that would be the main thing that Canelo could have an advantage? Because obviously we've seen he hardly lost a round against Surdo.
Yeah, if he fights him at 175, I don't see any adjustments because Bivol is the bigger, he's a technician in there, he's a larger fighter, he's skillful. Canelo's skillful as well, but there's weight classes for a reason.
Lastly, for me, what do you want to tell the fight fans from Santa Ana, Anaheim, everyone who's going to make the drive out to see you, January 28th against Anthony Young?
First of all, I'm just very grateful for this opportunity. I appreciate everyone that supports me from Santa Ana, from Anaheim, from all over Orange County, from all over Orange County and Southern California that are coming over here to Inglewood, to LA to support me. Thank you guys so much.
And how was that walkthrough? Obviously, I've never been inside, but how do you see it from your point of view? I mean, you fought at the Velasco before. You fought at, I think, LAFC Stadium as well. Maybe a few other ones. What do you make of the YouTube theater?
Oh, there's not a bad seat in the house. There's no bad seat in the house whatsoever. You could really see everything. Like I said, there's no bad seat in the house, so you could really see everything. You can see all the actions. The fight fans are in for a treat.
There we go. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Alexis, just some questions. If you can talk to us about fighting in Inglewood, where your promoter has so many historic fights here in the city.
Yeah, there's so many historic fights here. Oscar used to fight the Forum. He used to open up in his professional debuts. He used to headline the Forum. And now for me to headline the YouTube Theater, which is right down the street, it's a blessing. It's a dream come true. I hope to open up the YouTube Theater, and when people think of the YouTube Theater, I hope they think of Alexis Rocha. I hope, go in January 28th, making a spectacular performance here. I want to keep headlining here and then gradually move on to the SoFi Stadium.
Excellent. How many times do you want to fight this year?
3 to 4 times. I want to stay active. Being active is very crucial in a young man's career. A lot of fighters nowadays only fight once every other year. I'm probably the most active fighter right now that's fighting. Within the last 14, 15 months, I've fought 5 times. This will be my 5th fight. So I want to stay active.
Uno para Coach. ¿Qué opinas sobre Alexis peleando aquí en el Forum, aquí en Inglewood, donde Oscar tuvo tantas peleas históricas, donde comenzó su carrera?
Claro que sí, yo desde joven estaba contando a Oscar que yo venía a ver las peleas aquí, ¿verdad? Y ahora estamos al otro lado de la calle. Es muy importante para su carrera, para el deporte, que vean un peleador que de veras quiere pelear. Esta es nuestra 5ª pelea en los últimos 14, 15 meses y él quiere pelear, él nunca ha dicho no y es muy importante. Así como Oscar le abrió las puertas al Forum, ojalá que Alexis pueda hacer eso al YouTube Theater y hagan más peleas aquí regularmente.
¿Se acuerda qué peleas vino aquí a ver de Oscar?
Bastante. Cuando hizo su debut, aquí conocí a Marco Antonio, me acerqué mucho a él y a su equipo, el Cuervo Benavides, que era de Fresno, los hermanos Relas, muchas peleas. Cuando estaba Magic Johnson y todos esos, en esos tiempos eran los lunes, parecían que hacían peleas.
Perfecto. ¿Qué tan listo ve a Alexis para esa pelea por el campeonato?
Lo miro muy motivado. Porque sí fue la estelar cuando peleó contra Blair, pero no sentimos todo lo que están haciendo con ustedes, claro que nos dan mucha atención para subir al deporte. En ese tiempo todo pasó muy rápido porque se canceló la de Virgil y luego nos metieron a nosotros. Esta vez ha sido muy diferente, la atención que le ha dado. Lo miro muy confiado, el entrenamiento, todo hemos tenido. Nosotros supimos desde la segunda semana de diciembre que teníamos esa oportunidad y le hablé y me dijo, no, claro que sí, yo soy peleador, yo quiero pelear. Y como le dije, es una oportunidad, pero estamos bien preparados físicamente, mentalmente, para una pelea como esta.
¿Cree que este es el año de Alexis?
Si Dios quiere, sí. Te voy a decir que el negocio está medio cochino en veces. El deporte es muy bonito, pero si la política no se mete, este es un año muy importante para él. Él ya está listo, así como sea Crawford. Hemos espareado con Crawford, hemos espareado con Canelo, hemos espareado lo mandé a Europa 5 semanas con Taylor. Él ha esparreado con muchos campeones, no viejos, campeones Ramírez, Mikey García. Él está listo. Y yo digo que él también necesita un hombre grande, un campeón, para que él se suba a otro nivel.
En cuestión de pelo a estaban muy pequeños. ¿Cuál es el consejo que le da a usted a él en esta etapa de su carrera tan crucial?
Que no deje una oportunidad que lo pase. Alexis lo empecé a entrenar desde los 12 años y lo chistoso que ni quería pelear, yo lo forcé a pelear porque estaba entrenando a su hermano. Ronnie es medio hermano y el primer día que esparrió me tumbó a uno de mis amateurs que ya teníamos y dije, tenemos algo aquí. Y parece que dentro de 2 semanas lo hice pelear, noqueó en el primer round y peleas amateur y de allí miré que empezó a progresando. hizo el equipo Junior Olympic. En ese tiempo que fue muy importante, se fue a pelear a Europa, lo que muchos no saben, él ya ha peleado en Europa, en Italia, y eso le ayudó mucho, lo preparó para tiempo como este. Para mí es un camino que también un peleador, no todos están haciendo millones de dólares, como ustedes saben, y lo ha preparado para esta pelea, para su futuro, y lo miro muy motivado.
Perfecto. Gracias, coach.
Gracias.
And obviously, you don't care who you fight.
South LA?